Okay, hello and welcome. I'm going live on Facebook and Instagram, so if I'm kind of looking different ways and making sure that you guys can see me and hear me, and I'm also on my iPad, which is different. So let me know on Instagram and Facebook if you can hear me, if you can see me, comment, say hello. I am so excited to be here to talk to you guys tonight about developing a positive outlook. So I'm gonna grab some Valor and let me know what you guys are grabbing tonight. Grab an oil, pop it in your hand, rub around a few times, and we're just gonna take a few deep breaths to start, because this is one of the kind of easiest tools that we have at our fingertips, is grabbing an oil and taking a deep breath, okay? When you breathe in and you breathe out, that physical action of breathing actually slows your heart rate, it helps calm you, and it just helps you feel better. When we pair in oils with this, it's even more powerful. Frankincense, Meredith says, yeah. Okay, so grab whatever oil you're drawn to tonight, and we are gonna chat about a positive outlook. So if you are watching live, you can say hello, maybe where you are from, and I'd like to know your favorite kind of uplifting or your go-to oil when you're like, I want to be positive, I want to feel good today. What is the oil that you pick? So for me, that's many oils, but I'm going to talk about a few of them tonight, and we're also going to talk about some other things that aren't really oil related. So it's good to make a note first that I want to kind of preface this by saying that this is not medical advice. We do not diagnose, treat, cure. There are some, times in our life that things are going to be shitty. Like, that's just kind of the way it goes. Life can be really hard. Things can be really tough. Having a positive outlook doesn't mean that you're not going to have those things happen. It doesn't mean that you won't need support. It doesn't mean that you might not need things like medications or therapies or treatment or medical assistance or any of those kinds of things. But the good news is oils and things that we can do at home and simple tools and what we can add to our day and our routine can go with those things. So they're to support, and that's the beautiful thing about oils. I feel like I'm too close. Hang on. That's what you get when you stack your, this is what I stacked my phone with. So that is the beautiful thing about oils and natural products and tools and things that we can do at home, is they go with whatever else we need. So like I said, not medical advice. You may need different things that support you. There may be a time in your life when like oils aren't cutting it, right? Or you need someone to talk to. There's a crisis line that you can call. You might need to seek support for mental health. Like, those are real things, but there are also things that we can do every single day that can support us and help us feel better. So I want to talk a little bit about that, okay? So some people said frankincense. I got orange. Nobody said Valor yet. I'm surprised. Okay. Let me know if you guys have heard this before. Our thoughts control our emotions. Our emotions control our actions. So think of it like this. If what we're thinking makes us feel a certain way, how we're feeling makes us act a certain way. This is super powerful, because if we are thinking from a positive lens versus a negative lens, or a really empowering lens versus a really kind of like lack or draining lens, that affects how we feel 100%. Like, we've all been there. We've all felt really great and happy and joyful and inspired and motivated, like all those things. And we've also felt really heavy, and we've also felt lack and felt ache and those kinds of things. They are connected, and first comes our thoughts. So what we think about, how we think about ourselves, how we think about other people, how we think about situations, that is first. Then that causes a feeling in our body, and based on that feeling, we make certain actions, right? That's how we choose how we act and how we do certain things. So they're all connected, but the good news is thinking comes first, our thoughts come first, and we have a chance to change that and just to truly, flip our mindset kind of thing, right? So So what are we thinking to ourselves? What are we thinking to others? Having a positive attitude and an outlook is something that we can all have. And I want you to start by thinking of this. So think of someone that you know or have known that is constantly complaining. They're negative. If something's posted online, they have to pipe in with like a negative comment and make sure that's out there. They're a glass half empty person. They're the people that say, this stuff always happens to me. Like, what else is going to happen to me this week? It's just me. That's my luck. Think of that person, because I know that we've all felt this in either we have felt it, we've seen it in other people, we've seen it, on TV, whatever. Do you think that that person really has quote unquote bad luck? Or do you tend, what did I write here? Oh my goodness. So do you think they tend to have more good things happen to them? Or do you think they have more bad things happen to them? And I'm going to put those in quotes because good and bad, that's kind of arbitrary. But do you think they really have quote unquote bad luck? Or is it that they're constantly thinking about those things and picking out those things? They're constantly thinking about what could go wrong, what has gone wrong, what might go wrong. Instead of picking out the positive things and having a positive outlook, they're thinking about all the negative things. That's what their focus is on. So that's what they tend to pick out, right? They're like, this always happens to me. The 5 great things could happen to them in a day and one awful thing could happen. And they'd be like, that's it. Always happens to me. I have the worst luck. Like, it's always me. Like, nothing can go right. Right? Like, tell me if this is someone that you either know, it might be you, it might be, someone in the past. We've all met somebody like this. Like, I know we have, right? More things happen to them because they don't look to the positive. Exactly. And that's not saying like, you have to be like toxic positive and everything's going to be okay. That's not saying that. It's just how you perceive things and what you focus on, right? What you focus on, you're going to attract more. Okay. So our brains don't know the difference between imagination or reality. So what we tell ourselves, what we think, and what we feel is truth. This can be to our advantage or this can be to our disadvantage. So to our advantage, I can say things to myself like, I am kind, I am loved, I am powerful, I am enjoying the sun today. And to our disadvantage, I can say, I'm really cold, it's gross and snowing out today, I feel lonely today, that person didn't respond to me today, all those things, right? It's how we talk to ourselves and what we really focus on. It doesn't change the, truth in things, but what we think is really important to what is, truth for us and what we focus on. Yeah, what we focus on, we attract more of. Exactly. So, have you ever thought of this? I'm sure most people have bought a new car or have heard this kind of study before. So let's say you go car shopping. You are going to buy a white SUV. You researched it. You're like, yeah, that's the one I want. So you think about it. You haven't made the purchase yet. You're driving around. Do you not see more white SUVs driving around? Let me know if you have or haven't. Like, if that's something you're thinking about, you're like, I'm going to make that purchase. I know it. I see it. I'm going to drive that vehicle. It's a white SUV, but I haven't yet purchased it, right? You will legitimately see more on the road. It'll be like, oh my goodness, where did all these white SUVs come from? Everybody must have one now. No, the same amount were out there. It's because that's what you're thinking about. That's what you are focusing on. That's what your mind is picking out, right? You are attracting that because that's in your brain. You're saying, I'm thinking about this. This is on my mind. So the same is true with our thoughts and what we tell ourselves and what we're kind of exposed to, right? We can pick out really great things about a situation, or we can pick out really crappy things about a situation. It's up to us to kind of train our brains almost into thinking in ways that support ourselves, okay? Or when you're pregnant, all you see is pregnant bellies. Yeah, exactly, Chelsea. The vehicle is everywhere all of a sudden. Yeah, exactly. So it's not that there's more pregnant people or more cars on the road that are the same color. No, it's because that's what you're focused on, right? So our brains are really smart, but also not smart, right? They're so primitive that if we tell ourselves something, it doesn't know whether it's truth or not. So what we focus on, we receive and we see. So I read a study today that I'm going to share with you guys. It said, volunteers were asked to play a simple sequence of piano notes each day for 5 consecutive days. Their brains were scanned each day in the region connected to their finger muscles. That's one group. Another set of volunteers were asked to imagine playing the notes instead, also having their brains scanned each day. Then it shows this little graph. I'll put up the study after, but the top 2 rows showed the changes in the brain in those who played the notes. The middle 2 rows showed the changes in those who simply imagined playing the notes. And then the bottom 2 rows showed the brains of the regions of the control group who didn't play and they didn't imagine. Well, lo and behold, the top 2 rows of the playing and imagining, the changes in the brain are the same whether they played the piano or whether they imagined playing the piano. Your brain does not distinguish reality from imaginary, which is cool. We have this opportunity to teach our brains and to fill our brains with good things and good thoughts and what we choose to expose ourselves to, and our energy and our thoughts and the people we see, right? I bet you any money that if you ask 5 different people what they see on Facebook, they're going to see different things. They're going to pick out what maybe is important to them. The brain's kind of like, have you ever searched for something on Google that you're like interested in buying, and then they're like just keep popping up? You see all these ads of like, I don't know, for me it's like we're looking at tables right now. We're looking at having a wood table made. So what are the things that keep popping up for me on Facebook Marketplace, popping up on Google? Like, those ads are there on purpose because that's how your brain works too, right? The more you think about it, the more you see it, it just keeps popping up. So how we talk to ourselves, how we think is that same way, right? We need to be filling our brains with good things, okay? So how can we support our thoughts, our emotions, and our actions to have a positive outlook? The biggest things that we can do for ourselves is habit and routine. So our field of focus determines what you find. If you focus on opportunities, that's what you find. If you focus on obstacles, that's what you'll find. How many of us have said, I don't know, whether it's business or life, work, kids, marriage, how often have we said like, this isn't going well, nothing's going well, I can't do this isn't great today, that was a fail, I didn't do this. Like, we've all said those things at some point in our life. We've all felt those things. But the important part is what we take out of it. It doesn't change if you've had a hard day. It doesn't change, if you've had a hard season. If you really didn't get anything done that day, and maybe your kids did get pizza when you wanted to cook this, fancy, amazing meal, that doesn't change it. But the way that you look at it and the perspective that you have around it and what you tell yourself is 100% up to you, okay? I hope that makes sense. So, some things that we can do to support that with our habit and routine. So, habits are just things that we do over and over again that they become so second nature that it's like, that's a habit. A habit can be a good thing, like let's say going for walks every morning. That would be a positive habit. Habits can be a bad thing. Let's say having a can of pop every day. That's probably a less great thing, right? We can train ourselves based upon what we think, what we feel, and what we do, our thoughts, our emotions, and our actions, to create those positive habits. So a really good book that I would suggest that I finally read after years is, I can't remember what it's called. It's the one about habits. I know Chelsea likes it. I took so many notes on it. I'll figure it out. Anyways, someone's got to know it. I'll find it after. But it's a book all about habits and like how to simply add little things into your day every day that can create a positive habit. Okay. So I'm sure we have giveaways, which I think Meredith is on. Yeah, 7:15. Okay. So I want to know one thing that you guys do to support a positive outlook or positive habit that you guys have. Yeah, Atomic Habits, Kendra knew it. See, I knew Habits is in the name. It's a good book. So comment for one of our giveaways tonight, I would like to know what you do. One thing, just list one thing that is a positive habit or a positive thing that you do for your outlook and your mindset. Okay, so some things that I am going to focus on. So the first one is personal development. And if this is something that you have never done, I highly encourage you to explore it. It's going to be something that is kind of evolving as you evolve, but it can be anything from books, it can be things from audibles, podcasts, journaling, someone said prayer, spiritual reading, anything that's growing your mind and allowing you to learn and expand, really. So it's totally personal dependent, right? It's personal development. It's how you want to develop yourself. It's allowing yourself to learn and grow. And a lot of the time, I think that personal development is learning from others. So it's taking in information from another source, whether that be a book or a podcast or, listening to something. I think that is how we're learning and growing is from other people too. So it's improving yourself like tending to a garden. It needs upkeep. So does your mind, right? We can't expect us to have all these weeds, all this information bombarded from social media and things going on outside. And, it's winter, we're having more seasonal things. It's harder to stay positive and stay happy when, we're dealing with Mother Nature, snow, darkness, online, the world events, right? So the more that we can do to grow ourselves and grow our mind, the better that we're going to feel. So that would be my first tip, is personal development. My next tip is to surround yourself with people who have the same values as you, or the values that you want to have. So if you are somebody that's like, I know I'm negative, I know that I'm like sucked into these cycles of just not feeling my best and I'm not sure how to get out of them, align with people that have values that you want to have, right? People that are positive, people that are improving themselves, people that are supportive. Whatever the values that you want to have, join that culture. I save a million quotes. I think this was from Atomic Habits, but he says, join a culture where the desired behavior is normal behavior. Your culture sets your expectation for what's normal. Surround yourself with people who have habits you want to have, right? Being around people, it's just a positive environment, that energy and that just support that you're like, this is who I am, this is what I do, right? That is so important. And we are so blessed with Young Living to have a community where we do come together in that way. And we can all be so different, but we can also support each other and cheer each other on. Okay. Next thing is how you're talking to yourself and your mindset. Think about this. How would you talk to your child, or let's say your niece or nephew? How would you talk to a friend? If what you're saying to yourself isn't something that you would say to them, or even a boss, let's say, like, would you say the things that you say to yourself to a coworker, a friend, a neighbor? If it's not, then you shouldn't be saying it to yourself either, right? If you're putting yourself down daily, telling yourself you can't, you're not good enough, I won't do this, or I can't do that, you are deciding for yourself. You've told your brain, you've already decided in your thoughts that I can't do this, I'm not good enough. You've thought all those things. Then it causes a feeling in your body, right? When you say those things about yourself, whether it be aloud or just in your mind, how does it make you feel? It doesn't make you feel really great, right? For me, I get like a weight in my chest. I just feel, I don't know, anxious and sad. Like, it's just a heavy feeling, right? So why would we be talking to ourselves that way if we wouldn't talk to anyone else that way? We have to think of ourselves as like the most important person. And I know sometimes that's contradictory of, we should be giving people and caring, and we should love each other or love one another, or love other people and help and give. But if we're not doing that to ourselves, if we're not loving ourselves, talking to ourselves kindly, giving ourselves the right love and nurture, how could we possibly expect us to flourish? I didn't write this study down here, but I'll find it and link it after. I'll never forget, there was a study, I think it was either a flower or a plant. Someone might know that's watching, but they they put all these, let's say plants, I think it was, in water. They literally stuck them in the exact same place. One plant, they spoke to really nice things like, hey plant, you're growing, you're amazing, you're doing awesome, we love you. And the other plant, they spoke awful things to, like, you can't do this, you're not gonna grow. I don't know what they said to the plant, but they did a study on this, and it actually shows that the plant that got talked to in a positive way and was loved and supported, and the words that were spoken to that plant with the same water, the same sunlight, all those same things, grew, and the other one died. Like, the other one died that was being talked to negatively, that was being put down. Like, if it kills a plant, what do you think it does to us, right? Why would we talk to ourselves that way if we would not talk to anyone else that way? So that's so important, is how you talk to yourself. So how do we shift this? So it's easier to pick out, personally, I think that. Jody, I talk to your plants all the time. Me too. I just give them a little, we love you, grow. So how to get a more empowering thought. So it's about shifting and reframing, okay? You might not notice it in yourself, but once you do more personal development, once you're more, exposed to that environment, like I said, surrounding the people you're around with, and once you're okay with sharing your thoughts and being okay with, like, hey, I'm doing XYZ, blah, 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 and you say it and it's not a really great thought, be okay with sharing that, because there's going to be a chance that the other person on the other side is going to say, hey, maybe there's a more empowering thought. Or maybe you can team up with someone and say, like, hey, can we be buddies, and can we just, like, call each other out when I'm not being that nice to myself, or you're not being that nice to yourself, and I hear you say something, or I hear you doubt yourself. Like, could you find an accountability partner for that? Like, even in the comments as you're watching, if you want someone to do that with, like, reach out, find someone that you can have that with. Because working on a more empowering thought is going to be the most important part. It doesn't mean you won't have those thoughts. It means you'll be able to say, yep, caught them, I'm going to switch to something else. So maybe you guys can share some examples too. But so let's take, for example, I struggle with waking up in the morning and doing a morning routine or doing a morning workout. Let's say that's one of my things, okay? Instead of saying that, which is saying, like, so the word struggle is not a great, not positive feeling, right? It doesn't have that great energy with it. It has that lower negative energy. So instead you could say, I'm working on finding a rhythm that works for me in the morning. Not saying I'm struggling to create a morning routine that works for me, right? Those are different. What could another one be? I don't know how to do a live video on Instagram, okay? That's saying, like, don't, can't, low, like, it's got all those negative connotations to it. Instead, you can say, I'm learning, I'm trying, and I'm learning how to do a live video on Instagram. I'm gonna Google it and I'm just gonna figure it out. Like, how different do those things feel? A huge one that I see a lot, I've seen this a lot over the years, but it's how you talk to yourself, okay? So if you keep telling yourself you're broke, this is something, and you guys can admit it if that's you, because we've all been there, I think. The people that continue to say, I'm broke, I'm broke, I'm broke, I'm broke, how are you not gonna be broke? Right? How are you going to be any different if that's what you keep telling yourself, that's what you keep thinking over and over again, you keep telling yourself over and over again, okay? Instead of saying that, you can say, I'm choosing where my money goes and how I spend my money this month. You could say, I have enough money to provide for my family. Maybe that means that you don't have money for extra XYZ, but you probably have enough money for whatever is a need to you, right? Switching the way that you talk about it and the way that you think about it. You can say, I'm choosing to spend my money on XYZ, instead of saying, I'm too broke to afford a new computer. You can say, I'm choosing to spend my money on a home and food this month, my rent and my food, okay? Like, how different do those things feel? One is very negative and one is very positive. And what we focus on, we're gonna attract. So if you keep telling yourself, I suck, I'm broke, all those things, like, it's going to happen, or it's going to keep happening. How can you get yourself out of that if that's all you're telling yourself every day, right? So working on a more empowering thought is just, it's hard at first because you need to catch that, and it's okay to have the thoughts, but you don't want to dwell in it and you don't want to sit in it, right? Like, you can feel crappy, you can have a really hard time, you can have a hard season, you can feel super down about yourself. Like, I applied for a job and I didn't get an interview recently. Yeah, it sucks. It sucks. It doesn't feel good. But do I tell myself that I suck, I'm no good, I didn't get it because I'm a loser, or maybe if I was like this other person I would get it? No, because that doesn't serve me at all. Having a positive outlook would say, that job's just not meant for me. I'm really glad and I'm proud of myself for applying and trying. I'm going to try for the next one, right? It's the words that you use and the thoughts that you think of it that is going to totally make the difference. So let me know if that is helpful for you guys. And then I want to talk about something that is another one, actually, first, is body movement, meditation, and getting outside in nature. Those are really just kind of easy tools that we can do that supports our mental health, and it does give us a positive outlook, right? When we're appreciating nature, when we're in nature, whether it be winter or not, when we're moving our body, being in appreciation for having the ability to move our body, right? Are you gonna, let's say, be hard on yourself or punish yourself for not exercising every day like you told yourself you would? Or are you going to be in appreciation that your body can move, is able to do those things? Because some people don't have that, right? It's that perspective of appreciation and just that outlook. Another one is meditation. I love to do meditation. If you like to do prayer or affirmations, those are really powerful things that you can add into your routine, and they also make a huge difference. So it's like filling your brain with all these good things, right? You have the opportunity every day to fill your brain with whatever you choose. You are in control of that. So it's filling it with good things. Maybe putting on a meditation or an affirmation or some sort of prayer or music in the morning while you're getting ready for work or while you're getting ready for bed, those kinds of things, okay? And then the last thing I want to, well, not last thing, but one of the things I want to talk about is how to really make them into a habit. So I think one of the most important things when you want to, oh yeah, someone says a manifestation playlist you listen to every morning. That's perfect. I also have some. If you want to kind of up level your meditation and your affirmations, what I've recently done is I've voice recorded myself saying, I've got one that's like a really positive kind of my future self, where I want to be. I talked about it in present tense, like I am this, I am that, I am here, this is what's going on. And I voice recorded myself so I can listen to that. And that's empowering, and that is super, super powerful because it's your own voice. That's like hearing in your thought, you're feeling it and you're doing it, you're saying you're there, right? So that is a really powerful way as well, is to voice record yourself and then save it and listen to it again and again, okay? So I think one of the most important things to create a habit when it comes to a positive outlook is anchoring and pairing things into whatever your routine is, okay? So some ideas for that can be oils and meditation. You use your oils, you meditate. That's pairing those two together. A walk and a personal development book or a podcast. That's pairing two things together, okay? Nighttime routine and meditation. That's kind of where I started. Was using oils, I meditated, and then that was my nighttime routine. Body movement, saying an empowering thought to yourself. Brushing your teeth, listening to a meditation. Driving to work, listening to a podcast. Habit stacking, something you already do, is going to be really powerful and very easy to add in another positive kind of addition to your routine, right? If you don't meditate right now, but every morning you go for a walk, great, add a meditation to that. If you, let's say every night you wash your face, get ready for bed, and set up your diffuser, great, throw on a meditation during that. Stack it with something that you already do so it's easy to do. It's like, I'm already brushing my teeth. I'm already getting ready in the morning. Or maybe it's when you're making your breakfast. I make breakfast every morning. Great. I'm going to throw on my oils in the morning in my diffuser and turn on a meditation. Great. That's stacking it with something you already do. So it's just going to be easier to do, and it's going to kind of be not simple because you're going to have to remember to do it, but it's easier to do because it's already with something you do. So then you're going to keep doing it. And the more that you do it, it's going to become easier and become truly that habit. Okay. All right. I'm sure we have another giveaway. So for this one, I want you guys to share. Actually, I'll go through the oils first that I want to talk about, but then I want you to share what your favorite takeaway is, okay? Out of like the tips that we had, and then we'll do the next giveaway. So I want to talk about a kind of set of oils that you can use to have intention and pair in your routine. So like I said, I think it's powerful when we pair things, when we anchor them, when we have it stacked together. And a great set of oils for that is the Great Day Protocol. So who has heard of the Great Day Protocol, or who uses that? To be honest, when I first started kind of my emotional personal development journey, I did an evening routine, and it was the feelings kit. Like always feelings kit, meditation, feelings kit, went to bed, felt so good. And after a couple years of that, I added in a morning routine. So I added in the Great Day Protocol oils. And now I really love my morning routine a little bit more. I focus a little bit more on that than my evening routine. And that's okay. It's like there's no right or wrong. You could do a routine or, you know, add something into your day at noon if you want. That doesn't matter, right? It's the fact that you're going to do it and you're going to keep doing it, because that's where you're going to feel and see changes. Okay. So if you've not heard of the Great Day Protocol oils, it is 4 oils that our founder, Gary Young, kind of paired together in a way that's just going to set you up with intention for the day. Okay. So the first one is Valor. I'm sure most of you guys love Valor, but it is one that instills courage. So how I use this and how the Great Day Protocol works is I put a drop in my hands. I might as well use it. So I just roll on. I love the rollers on all my oils, but put a little bit in my hands. I take 3 deep breaths, and then I like to hold my wrists together and just allow those energies to kind of go together. I usually end up rubbing it on my neck. Like there's no right or wrong, whatever feels good to you. But Valor is for instilling courage. So that's going to be a good one to start your day with. The next one is Harmony. I actually love Harmony. And Harmony promotes positive energy and calms your mind. So I'm going to take my Harmony. I'm going to rub it around in my hands a few times. Take a few big breaths. And then I'm going to put my Harmony on my stomach area. So around your belly button, right here, around that energy center of your body. So Harmony promotes positive energy and calms your mind. Okay. Next one is Joy. So Joy, take a drop in my hand, rub them together, activating those oils and the energy within the plants and the oils, taking a few big breaths, and then I'm going to put it over my heart. Okay. So Joy invites happiness and open-heartedness into your life. Okay, and then the last one that's part of the Great Day Protocol is White Angelica, which I've been very in love with lately. I've been loving to put it, I like to put emotional support oils behind my ears. I just find them really relaxing, and I can smell all day at work when I put White Angelica behind there. So White Angelica, I'm going to take a drop in my hand, same thing, rub them together, take a few big breaths. And then don't miss the breathing part. Like I'm doing that just for our class, but take a few big, slow, deep breaths. Allow that oil to get into your body, get into your brain. Your brain has the limbic system, which oils go directly into, and they affect your emotions. They affect your mood. They affect your memory. So taking those big, deep breaths, okay? So after my White Angelica, I'm going to put it all over my body. So White Angelica encases your body like a guardian shield for energy. So I'm going to go over my head, in my hair, I'm going to put it on my body, over my legs, and it's just a great way to set yourself up for the day. So the Great Day Protocol is something that you can pair and anchor with something else in your life. So maybe you like to work out in the mornings, okay? If you paired the Great Day Protocol before that, then did your workout, that's going to habit stack and create such power with those that those are both going to be so good for you. You're going to be more likely to use the oils and then work out, right? Because one occurs before the other. They're just stacked together and it just feels really good. Or maybe for you, it is, maybe you want to use these at night, okay? Use them before bed, okay? You do that, you get into a routine, you put them on before bed, and then you lay there and you pray. Great. That is a way to habit stack and a way to get them into your body, get those good thoughts, whatever you choose that you want to add in that is a positive kind of addition to your life. Adding in oils to pair with it is just going to help kind of amplify that, okay? Okay, so for a giveaway, I'm not sure if anyone answered yet, but what is your favorite takeaway from tonight? Or what did you learn and what do you want to take away? And then I'm going to give you a few tasks to do after this, okay? Great Day Protocol with journaling. Yeah, exactly. Pair it with what you're already doing. If you're already doing something that's really good for your mindset or your positive outlook, that's huge. Like, give yourself a pat on the back. You're already doing something. So pair it with something you're already doing, okay? Having a positive outlook does not mean that you're oblivious to the world around you or that you don't have hard days or bad things will happen. It means it's about perspective and how you choose to look at it. Showing gratitude for what you have, not thinking about what you don't have. The more that you think about what you don't have, that's what you're going to focus on and that's what you're going to get. Instead of being appreciative and showing gratitude and being grateful for the things you do have, right? It's like saying, I don't have money, I'm broke, blah, blah, blah. That versus thinking of, I'm positive, I have enough money, all that I need in this world, or I have enough to keep me safe, or I am abundant, right? It's just how we think about it. The more you think about what you don't have, that's kind of what you're going to get, right? So I saw this quote today, again, as I was listening to something in my personal development world. It says, nothing stands between you and anything that you desire other than your own patterns of thought. How amazing is that? And how does that feel? Nothing stands between you and anything you desire other than your own patterns of thought. So you control your energy, you control what you're exposed to, and you control what you're allowing in your life, especially right now in our social media age. So I will post a little graphic, but I'm going to get you guys to do 4 tasks after this. First task is to unfollow 5 people on social media that drain your energy, because you are in control of who you're exposed to and who is allowed in your space. If you would not let them into your home or, as a friendship, why would you allow them in your social space, taking up any kind of brain space or area? So first task, unfollow 5 people on social media that drain your energy. Second task, follow 5 people that uplift your energy. So maybe it is someone really positive that you like seeing. Maybe it's an author. Maybe it's someone who does a podcast. Maybe it's someone else in the Young Living world. Like, whatever. Follow 5 people that uplift your energy, because that's what you're going to see, right, as you're scrolling. The next one, download or start using one personal development tool. So whether that is a meditation or a podcast, you grab a book, you grab a journal, just do one of them, okay? And then the last task is add one thing to support your mind into your routine daily. So whatever you choose, whether it is a meditation, an affirmation, maybe it's adding in an oil to your routine, pick one thing and add that thing to your routine and just keep trying, keep doing it and keep stacking it with your other things. And it will start to feel better. It will start to feel good. Okay. Awesome. Thank you, Meredith, for doing our giveaways. I'm going to post a couple graphics after, and I'm going to want you, well, I want you guys, not I'm going to want you, in the Facebook group. I want you to be sharing. I've got a graphic for your favorite people that are positive to follow online. I've got a graphic for your favorite people to listen to or read from, like a book or a podcast or an Audible. And I want us to be filling those with lists of people that we love to follow, people that are inspiring, people that are motivating, encouraging, tools that we can have and we can all share so that we can have a positive outlook and feel better every day. So Hope that was helpful for everyone, and I can't wait to read all of your comments and see what you took away. And have an awesome night, guys.